Hi there, ladies. Have you ever wondered about having a higher sex drive than your husband? That's what we're talking about right now. I'm Mary Whitman Ortiz, Christian sex educator, relationship coach, and author. I have been helping people to grow the connection in their relationship for over 20 years. On this channel, we talk about everything you need for greater sexual intimacy in marriage. Please subscribe and tune in every Friday for a new video. All right, let's jump right in to the emotions and the facts surrounding help. My sex drive is higher than my husband's. So we're going to cover 3 most common emotions that are stirred up because of this issue, and then 3 facts that you can consider as you are processing all of this. The first emotion, which might not surprise you, is frustration. So this can be an internal frustration, literally surging in your body, those hormones that are calling you to do something. And when you don't have that release, then you're very well aware of that frustration. And there are some things that you could do, just like immediate ways to handle that. So you might exercise, you might dance, you might have a way to be in tune with them, but to know that they are still having an impact. What you don't want to do and really aren't able is ignore them. Okay, so we're not about suppressing, and we're going to find some really healthy ways to deal with what's going on. And actually, this is a 3-part series. And so in this first video, we're talking to the women about what's going on in their bodies. In the second part, we'll cover the men, what's going on for them. And then the third part, we'll talk about the couples and how they can bridge this gap of differing sex drives. So you have that frustration that is going on, and it may be difficult to understand for yourself how you got to this place, why you are at this place. It's also difficult to communicate this well to your husband. So that causes frustration too. And then you may be asking, why? This is nothing that I expected when we were dating, and it just absolutely blindsided me while we're married. And you can't turn it off. So frustration upon frustration upon frustration, and maybe you never gave yourself permission to acknowledge that's what's happening. So what about a second emotion that's common and is really powerful? Well, it's embarrassment. See, women might think, wait, this doesn't happen to women. Why is it happening to me? I thought that was just a guy thing. Also, women might be thinking, nobody told me that this was a possibility, especially not in the church. And she might be thinking, am I normal? Is this what a woman is supposed to experience? And I thought the guys were supposed to be in leadership for everything. Another frustration, another emotion that's at a really deep place is rejection. And how does that come up? Well, it feels to the wife like her husband doesn't want her. And that is a big concept to wrap your hand around. And it's so hurtful that she may not even feel like she can talk about it, because it just exposes so many other things, and it's real vulnerability. It's a big risk to have that kind of conversation. And she may not know how to process his refusal any other way besides taking it personally. So those emotions have a huge power play, and that's why we need the facts just the facts, ma'am. So we'll touch 3 main facts that you can have as a strong foundation. And the first one, what does the research say? So the research says, and I'm going to show you with my fingers, 4 out of 5 couples, the man has the higher sex drive. So that's true. But it also means 1 out of those 5 couples, the woman has the higher sex drive. So it is not abnormal. It may not be as common, but it is still completely acceptable, even if it isn't talked about that much. And the thing that is talked about the least is that 5 out of 5 couples have different sex drives. Yes, right there, I said it. So you do not have to feel like, oh no, we're mismatched. We'll never be able to negotiate this. Now, actually, this is normal and this is universal. I have to believe it's a part of God's design because it opens up opportunities for communication, for leaning into one another, for understanding, a tremendous amount of value that can be communicated through this. What is another fact you need to know? Well, there could be cultural expectations at play that you need to revisit. Maybe from media you thought, oh, isn't the man that always is the one to pursue? You may need to realign that. And if that was a message that was communicated through the church, oh, the man's the one that's in leadership, and so he's the one that calls all the shots. Well, that is not how Jesus sees us, because he created male and female as equal, and so you have an equal voice there. Now, one other cultural expectation you may need to revisit is personality differences. So as a woman, if you're a type A, if you're driven, if you're organized, if you have an agenda and you have a plan and you're in leadership, that may spill over into your sex drive. Nothing wrong with that. You just need to be aware that you're a whole person, and so what happens within your personality can affect other areas of your life. And so what is a third fact for you to consider? The communication that needs to happen for any intense topic. So this can apply to finances, parenting, health issues, sex, any topic that is a little bit volatile. The best time to have that conversation is not in the middle of the crisis, in the middle of the moment, in the middle of the fighting. This is fact. The best time to have the conversation is when you have reduced the stress and the anxiety. No one feels like they're being attacked, and there is acceptance and warmth and safety in your communication. And truly, when you get to that point of the conversation, there needs to be affirming of feelings on both sides, yours and his. So we have just touched the tip of the iceberg. As I said earlier, I know that there's a lot involved in this, so this is going to be a 3-part series. Make sure you catch the follow-up videos. But in the meantime, you need to supercharge your thoughts with how God sees sexual intimacy in marriage. And this is one of the big times that the way Christians, true believing Christians, not just church-going religious Christians, true believers, followers of Jesus, they want their hearts right. And so they are going to make different churches than the way the world would handle this situation. And I want to help you with that. I have a relationship development guide that says, what does the Bible say about sex? And I want to put that into your hands so you can have that information to help you as you make all of your decisions. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, Father God wants to lavish His love upon every area of your life, including sexual intimacy in marriage.